Why do the people who crave connection the most build the highest emotional walls? We assume it's just the fallout of an unhealed, broken heart. But take someone who finally lands a healthy, secure relationship and immediately starts looking for the exit. Their struggle isn't finding love, it's trusting it. Because their mind wasn't just broken, it was systematically trained to construct an internal security system. A system meticulously calibrated to constantly monitor for vulnerability. Here's the friction. To this highly trained system, a genuinely safe, intimate connection doesn't register as peace. It registers as a critical threat. It doesn't wait for an actual betrayal to happen. The exact moment they feel exposed, the system automatically drops a heavy protective wall. They remain isolated, not because they are unlovable, but because the defense mechanisms they built are functioning perfectly. So that person we talked about at the beginning, the one immediately looking for the exit, running away from you, they are just flawlessly executing their own survival training.
May I have your attention, please?
Running from Sundays, running from me. But you found me anyway. I was raised in the smoke where the truth get bent. Cold water heart, but I still feel heaven sent. Eyes roll back when they preach their grace, but I cry in the dark when I see my face. Red rag tied just to cover the pain. Rebel with a cause, but I'm numb to the rain. Got scars I don't show on the ground. Smile for the world, but I don't know who I am. They say slow down, but the streets move fast. I've been drinking from wells that never last. Why I keep chasing water that never satisfies my soul?
Because honestly, the subject matter demands that level of gravity. We're operating right at the end of the heart, specifically the case against love. So let's dive into this.
Was your heart broken, or was it meticulously, brutally trained to protect itself? I mean, really think about that. This is the street gospel truth we have to confront before we go a single step further. We so often point to the fracture, the break, as the source of our pain. But what if the real damage isn't the initial wound at all? What if the real tragedy is actually the super sophisticated security system you installed immediately afterward?
Opening statement.
Suspect wanted for questioning.
Court is officially back in session. But hey, there's no external judge here today. Instead, we are putting our own emotional defense mechanisms on trial to try and understand this crazy paradox of self-sabotage. Why is it that the people who are absolutely starving for genuine connection are the exact same people who construct the highest, thickest, most impenetrable walls? We're literally cross-examining the survival tactics you've relied on for years. Listen to this shift in perspective. Some people don't struggle to find love. They struggle to trust it. Just let that sit for a second. We spend billions of dollars on dating apps, retreats, matchmaking, completely convinced our problem is a sourcing issue, like it's an inventory problem, right? Wrong. For a lot of us, love isn't scarce, it's just terrifying. So we're faced with a binary choice, a really direct challenge. Do you want love, or do you fundamentally believe it's safe? Because desire without a foundation of safety, that just creates anxiety. If your nervous system is completely convinced that letting someone in means handing them the ammunition to destroy you, well, your desire for love is always going to be overpowered by your mandate to survive.
Let's move to evidence number 1, the first broken trust,
Your Honor,
where distrust is learned.
Let me see that file. Proceed with the witness.
Trust is learned. So is distrust. Infants reach out. They seek proximity. Isolation is not human nature. It's a meticulously learned behavior. You weren't born cynical. You weren't born a skeptic. You were taught to be one by the very people who handled your early vulnerability. And those lessons, those quiet little betrayals, they usually happen right in the living room. Think about it. A promise wasn't kept, a parent disappeared, maybe physically, or maybe just emotionally. Affection came heavily loaded with strings and conditions attached. Love became this volatile, unpredictable currency. This isn't just a list, it's practically a spoken word rhythm of childhood grief. When the people designed to be your safe harbor become your hurricane, your internal wiring drastically reroutes itself.
And as a result, the heart learns something wildly dangerous. It adopts a brand new prime directive: don't need people. It whispers to you that self-reliance is the only true safety out there. But I want to be incredibly clear here. Don't need people is not a badge of honor. It's a trauma response. It is the exact cornerstone that every single one of your isolating walls is built upon. Which brings us to the second phase of our investigation.
Let me see that file. Proceed with the witness.
Here is the absolute gut punch of reality that nobody warns you about. Your coping mechanisms, they don't have an expiration date. The wall that successfully protected a helpless child will inevitably imprison a capable adult. It's the ultimate tragedy of emotional development. You successfully outgrow the threat, but you refuse to take off the heavy armor. And now, that armor is crushing you. We see this stark, brutal reversal between how we see ourselves and reality. On one side, you call it independence, you call it strength, and you wear it like a crown. But on the other side, that's how the people trying to love you actually experience it. They experience distance, they experience rejection. You think you're projecting power, but they just feel the freezing cold of exile. Protection became your identity. You've spent so much time and energy defending yourself that you've kind of forgotten who you actually are outside of that defense. You've confused the bodyguard with the sovereign. And this perfectly illustrates the end game of that identity. It's the isolation of a perfectly protected heart.
Yo, did you see the game last night?
Is it untouched?
Man,
sure,
that was crazy.
but it is profoundly,
Yeah,
devastatingly lonely. Living entirely within those defensive walls means you survive, yeah, but you never actually live.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 11 News. Our top story tonight involves the ongoing developments downtown. Tonight we are following breaking developments in the highly unusual and emotionally charged case of self versus love.
Loud and clear, Anchor. I'm standing outside the courthouse where the verdict is expected any moment now. The tension is palpable.
The accused, known only as Self, stands charged with emotional evasion and a refusal to answer the call of love.
Yeah, we live right now outside the courthouse, but this ain't just another case. This one right here is about connection on trial, not paper. See, broken relationships don't just happen in isolation. Nah, they echo through habits.
Keep your options open. And it sounds strong, it sounds smart, it even sounds safe. But today, we're asking what it's costing us. Because when everybody guarding themselves, who's left to build anything real? This isn't just a courtroom story. This is a mirror. Back to you.
Tools we were never given. Redefining healthy love. Finding actual freedom requires equipping the mind. It means an aggressive rejection of those toxic systems we've just blindly accepted over the years, and finding the courage to adopt an entirely new framework for how we relate to other people. And here is the foundational text our source material highly recommends for this exact reconstruction. Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. This is practically the blueprint for unlearning those defense mechanisms that masquerade as strength. It's just essential reading for anyone trying to transition out of a walled-off fortress and into a healthy, functioning relationship. So we have to redefine what we're actually aiming for here. Listen to this definition carefully. Healthy love. A connection that isn't the absence of limits, but one that knows exactly where personal responsibility ends and another person's begins. Notice the contrast there? It's the exact opposite of that unpredictable, conditional love we talked about earlier. Healthy love requires absolute clarity. And see how this builds to our ultimate objective. The goal isn't control. It's not about manipulating someone else so you feel secure, and it's definitely not about building impenetrable walls so they can't reach you. The goal is the freedom to love without the poison of resentment. True safety is found in mutual respect, truth, and really firm boundaries.
Convinced you that vulnerability was weakness. Fear is making something without evidence. You can't hide from the truth forever. You've hidden behind lies long enough. Look at the missed chances, the relationships you broke. I was only being careful, keeping them safe. Courage doesn't make them safe. It moves anyway. Order in this court. First question, why do you expect betrayal before loyalty? Don't dodge this. Why do compliments make you so uncomfortable? And why do you always leave before I get to finish my question?
Members of the jury, after reviewing the evidence, this court finds.
Members of the jury, after reviewing the evidence, this court finds that fear has been impersonating wisdom.
I am discernment. I am caution. I keep this court from reckless harm.
You are none of those things. You are fear, and this court sentences you to truth. The old me would have picked love and cried through it all. Healing doesn't mean pretending you've never been hurt. It means refusing to let yesterday decide who gets access to tomorrow. So yeah, I'm picking me. Today we're
talking about the court case we all can't stop talking about, love versus self. Scripture reminds us perfect love casts out fear. Notice the order, love doesn't follow fear. Love confronts it. We don't hide from the fear anymore. We stand in love and face every single lie that's been told.
I'd love for you to journal about one specific real-world relationship in your life right now where fear, not wisdom, not faith, but pure, unadulterated fear has been driving the decisions. Identify it, name it.
We're going to leave the case file open on this final note. Sit with this for a while. What wall have you mistaken for witness?
Do you ever just sit and just wonder how? I truly wonder how. Lord, I need you now. Do you ever just sit and wonder how? We keep on telling lies right now, cleaning up messes from the life we chose, trying to act bold, but the cold still shows. Streets cold, hearts cold, tears fall down. If the truth came close, would you